Love and Light friends, just going to pick up on, sorry about the cutoff, but my phone overheated. We were talking about trauma, the surrogate parents of Hollywood. I think they took the MK Ultra mind control experiment and they decided to take it out of the laboratory and just put it out into mainstream society. Because it keeps fear alive. And with fear comes all the other stuff that's terrible, like worry. And what happens when you worry? You end up getting physically sick or diseased. And what happens when you get sick or diseased? You have to go to the hospital or the doctor. What happens when you go to the hospital or the doctor? Well, you got to get prescribed some medicine. And so you get sold a bottle of medicine to try to get you back into health. But see, this is just a big leap in denial of how we even got to the unhealthy state to begin with. And it all goes back to this trauma, this society where we've normalized trauma, where we've normalized calling the slaughter and murder of basically innocent people in other lands. Well, we just normalize that by saying, well, we're just protecting our country. How in the hell are you protecting our country if you're in somebody else's country? Seems to me that if you were protecting our country, you'd be on the border of our country, protecting it there, because apparently somebody would be invading or attacking. But if that's not the case, and you're just thrown into the middle of some other country and given a gun, and your justification for all the trauma and the mind control you're under is, oh, I'm protecting my country. That's a total cop-out. That's an excuse. I'm not saying it never happens, but I think we're all smart enough to know that the war, let's say the ongoing war of the last 10 years, has had abso-fucking-lutely nothing to do with protecting our country. Now, if we want to break that down a little more, we could say, well, maybe protecting the deep state of that country, now that might be closer to the truth. Protecting the interests of the deep state of that country, now we're getting close to some truth. But all you people that were used and abused are basically wadded up like used rags and tossed over the shoulder. And you find out they didn't give a damn about you, even though you thought you were protecting your country. And people don't give a damn about you. That's why we have so many veterans in crisis. But isn't it just another form of the trauma-based mind control experiment that spilled out of the laboratory and into your freaking neighborhood, into your city, into your family, into your community? And everybody's still trying to act like all this shit's normal. That's what gets me. That's why I have to make videos. Because I have to remind people that have forgotten that this shit's not normal, that it is not normal. Nothing about this trauma-based mind control society is normal. Nothing. Your movies aren't normal. Your education system's not normal. Your health system's not normal. Your insurance plan isn't normal. The sky above you is not too normal these days. The damn sun itself doesn't seem to be shining normal. The fire doesn't even burn normal. Like, what's normal anymore? Like, everything that's completely fucking unnormal, unnatural, is just being made to be normal. If we don't engage our consciousness about this stuff. You know, the next thing you know, I don't know, a van's gonna pull up next to somebody at a light that you're next to, and a bunch of people in weird uniforms is gonna jump out, grab up everybody in the car next to you, throw a blindfold on them, and cuff their hands behind their back real quick, and throw them all into the back of a van and drive off. And you'll just take another sip of your kooky cola and think it's totally normal. Totally normal. So what about it? What about it? Is everything normal? Is your life normal? Is all of this normal? Like, is there any other timeline that you can imagine where things are different? Is there any other scenario that you could conceive of where things are different? And I like to trace things to the root, because really that's the only way you get rid of the weed, right? You can cut the weed off as many times as you want. If you have a real invasive, let's say a real invasive type of a tree, and you cut it off 2, 3, 4 years later, that tree will be back because it came back from the root. So this shit has to be traced to the root and dealt with at the root if it's going to be solved, if change is really going to happen. And where can we trace all of this trauma back to? And I'm not even here to say where. I'm just asking and surmising. And I'd love to hear your thoughts. Where do you think all of this trauma traces back to? And I'd love to just blurt out what I think the answer is. And I think you probably already know what I think the answer is. But I'm not gonna say. I want to hear what you think what it is. What do you think it is? And I'm not saying it's just maybe even one thing, even though I don't know. That I'd have to think about that more to decide on that. But like, is the root the one thing that keeps the tree living even after you cut it down several times. It keeps sprouting and coming back. So I don't want to belabor the point too long. That's really all I have about it for now. But let's hear where you think the root of the trauma, what the root of the trauma is. Where does all of this come from? Love and light. Until next time, my friends.